Hey, welcome back, movie fans, and as promised, in my opinion, the most underappreciated movies of 2014. Here we go, let's get to it. Number 10, Maleficent. Yeah, I know this is obviously, and there's obviously been a lot of, dark takes on fairy tales lately this year, and of course last year mostly, the year before that. But in this one was a mixed bag. I can understand it was a little slow at some parts, but yeah, the scenery was great, and of course you got armies, which is in so many movies. But I thought Angelina Jolie's performance was good. Ellie Fanning was pretty good. But overall, if you learn to appreciate it, it's not too bad actually. The scenery is nice on some occasions. The 3D was kind of wasteful, not really needed, but for the most part, it's a pretty good live action adaptation and take on, I should say a different take on, like, showing the true story of Maleficent herself, that she's not really a villain. Spoiler alert there. But overall, not too bad. Number 9. Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know a lot of these I already reviewed, so this one's no surprise. I know it's criticizable that some of the villain development and build up and the reasons why they threatened Spider-Man and all that stuff, like Electro, and I know the Green Goblin himself, and it did seem like it's suffered a little bit of Spider-Man 3 syndrome with all these villains, but it actually really didn't, because for the most part it was Electro, which, like I said, his build-up and motive was not really there, but I still enjoyed it for what it is. And I know some of the acting is a little quirky with the love story and everything, but I think it served its purpose pretty well. So, and of course it sets up for another sequel. So, I give this movie credit where it's due. Give it a chance. It's not that terrible. Number 8, Divergent. Okay, I know I didn't talk about this one, and I feel as if I should have read the books, but I actually enjoyed this movie for what it was. I know it's a mixed bag, and I know this whole the Topian Society, whatever the hell it's called, has obviously been mastered much better with the Hunger Games. But this one obviously is a weaker version, and I know the actress is kind of taking pointers from Jennifer Lawrence on how to play that kind of role. I mean, she's been in plenty other good films as well, but I thought it was, it's slow at some parts. It is very long, but once you get attached to it, it's actually not too bad. And the action scenes at the end especially are really good. And I know it's slow and takes a lot of thinking, but once you get to know the plot and the character and everything else, it's pretty understandable. And of course it's setting up for more sequels considering it's based off a book series. So that's how it is. Number 7, Maze Runner. Another one that's based off a book and obviously has sequels coming as well. Didn't know what to expect. I know a lot of the stuff's in CG and it seems a little predictable, but it's actually not bad. Pretty good special effects, decent characters, but not as terrible as people say it is. It's understandable why it's a mixed bag. I didn't read the book, but I still enjoyed the film. Number 6, 300, Rise of an Empire. Obviously, I reviewed this one, and I can understand a lot of people didn't really like this, and they liked the first one better. Okay, it took years for this film to obviously come and see the light of day, and I don't know why, and I guess people expected better. I will admit it's a nice continuation, and it is, too much like the first one. The characters aren't as memorable, and the fight scenes aren't as memorable, but, come on, there's plenty of entertainment in this movie. And, it has a lot of CGI blood and everything, but so did the first one. Hell, I enjoyed the first one for what it is, and this one was probably just as good. And, okay, maybe not as good, but hey, come on, it's an enjoyable good time. You love blood, and of course you love the nudity scenes. Enjoy it for what it is. I know it sucks that Zack Snyder left the directing post on this movie and he left it to somebody else, but deal with it, people. I enjoyed it. I guess you can call it a guilty pleasure of mine. Number 5, The Monuments Men. This is a World War II movie that I was actually looking forward to, and I can understand why it was a mixed bag. It did seem a little undercooked, and I don't know this, like, the whole true story behind this, considering it is based off a true story, so I don't know how well they followed the source material, but I actually didn't think it was too bad. I mean, I had minimal expectations for this one, but it did its job. It served its purpose for a World War II movie, considering it's just about the guys who go in and fight to save the artwork out of the hands of the Nazis during World War II. It's what you expect. And I enjoyed it for what it is. I thought it was decent. So, underappreciated. Number 4, The Giver. Okay, obviously this was another one that was put into production hell for so many years, and obviously I read the book more than 10 years ago, and I was like, why isn't there a movie to this one? And yeah, it took so many years. And it's also understandable that it's, again, another one of those type of dystopia type movies that was obviously mastered from, as I said before, with Divergent, and, well, obviously even better with The Hunger Games. So this one, I can see why it was badly overshadowed. It's because of those films, and it kind of came many years too late. But I think it did all it could. You know, it followed the book. This was one I actually read the book. You know, and as much as I remember reading it, all of it was pretty much there. I mean, if you read the book, you'd know what to expect, and I think it did a good job following as much as it could. It's very hard for a movie to really take as much from the book as possible. I mean, you're not going to put everything in there 100% for what it's in there. But I think it did all the best it could. I thought the performances were good, and I'd say it was pretty good. Deal with it, people. It followed the book as best it could. Number 3, Sin City 2, A Dame for Kill. Another film that was in production hell for many years. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it was because Brittany Murphy passed away, but either way, I know this film bombed big time at the box office, but I thought, you know, with the new actors and everything, I thought it enhanced it pretty well. It's had the same type of atmosphere the first one did. I know it's not quite as good, but it was still pretty entertaining, and I love that atmosphere that it has. Black and white, a little bit of color thrown in there, you know, like alleyways and that city feel to it, with with the brick buildings and like a noir type movie. You know, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was just as much fun as the first movie. If you like these kind of movies, I'd say give this one a shot. It's not too bad. Number 2, Million Dollar Arm. Okay, obviously I'm also, as well as a comic book and movie-based book type fan, I'm also a sports movie fan occasionally. I enjoyed 42 and such, so I had some expectations for this one, and I didn't know what to expect, considering this is based off a true story, and I'm sure it's loosely, but I don't know how well it followed it. But this one I thought was really underappreciated, considering the low expectations I had for this one. And I actually got attached to it. The characters were likable. I know it's criticizable, you know, with Indian people, that they're not familiar with this country, but I mean, it was nice. It had a good feel to it, and you got so attached to every character in this film, and I was just sucked in. Thought it was really good. It was a little whimsical at some parts, but for the most part, I thought it was really well acted. I thought it was very well done. Not much to say. I'd say give this one a shot too. If you're a baseball movie fan, I don't know how well, once again, it follows the source material, but I'd say give this one a shot. Alright, and the number 1 movie that I think is underrated of this year, Non-Stop, starring Liam Neeson. Okay, I didn't know what to expect out of this one, but after hearing all the mixed reactions, mostly positive, I thought this one was really good. It had great suspense, great action. Liam Neeson, as always, was great. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Taken movies, but I did like when he played Ra's al Ghul and, of course, Batman Begins. But I thought this one was really good. The suspense was good, and the idea was good. Some people complain that the ending wasn't really very good, but I thought it held together pretty well, and I thought it was a very entertaining hour and 45 minutes. It was very good. So overall, that's my list right there. Check these movies out if you haven't got the chance, even if you heard mixed or negative reactions on them. Until next time, keep watching, and happy holidays.